Hey loves, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Keisha, and this channel is all about emotional healing, walking in freedom, and becoming who God created you to be. So we're doing a series right now on unforgiveness led by the Holy Spirit. This is a series that He's dropped in my spirit that He wants me to release here on my channel. And so if you are new and you haven't watched part one of the series, I will have it linked in the description. And so please go check that out, because in part one, that's where we build the foundation. And as we continue to go through this series, you'll just have a better understanding of the process of unforgiveness and just taking practical measures on how to forgive on your journey. And so what we talked about about unforgiveness in part one of the series is just how it keeps us mentally and emotionally trapped in the past, and how it also damages other relationships, not just the one with the person who hurt us. And most importantly, it blocks our intimacy with God. And in 2026, we're not having that. Like, we are not allowing other people to keep our intimacy to be blocked with God. Like, that's a no-no. Okay, and so we're gonna get this. We're gonna get through this together. I promise you. And so, but you have to put in the work. You have to put in the work. You have to put in the work. You have to make a decision today, right now, in this moment, and say, Lord, I'm going to do the work. I'm going to do whatever it takes to walk in freedom today. Okay, all right. And so today I'm going to just be sharing 4 key points about forgiveness or practical tools that help me along my journey. And so what you probably didn't realize, just like I did, is that when it comes to forgiveness, you need to forgive, and you can't keep living like this, right? And here's where we mostly get stuck, that we know we should forgive, but we have no idea how to actually do it. And so knowing you need to forgive and actually doing the work of forgiveness, those are 2 completely different things. So today I'm going to give you 4 practical keys and the actual roadmap that helped me walk through forgiveness. And these are the things that I wish someone would have told me when I first started my journey. Because listen, without community, without someone walking alongside of you, whether you have a coach, have a mentor, like, it is important. It is significant, especially when you're trying to heal and when you're trying to do it on your own. And so I'm going to walk through each key, explain what it means, and give you practical examples of what this looked like for me. Because I'm not just going to give you theory, I'm going to give you real messy, practical truth of how this actually works. So if you need to get your journal, get comfortable, let's just dive in, and we're going to make room to also let the Holy Spirit do what He do best. So key number 1, obedience is a choice. I'm going to say that again because I didn't know that. Like, a choice? Okay. Obedience is a choice. So key number 1, obedience is a choice. You would never feel like forgiving. Forgiving is not a feeling. And I need you to really hear this, because this is where most people stop before they even start. Again, this is where people mostly stop before they even begin, right? And so you're waiting to feel like forgiving. You're waiting for the anger to go away on its own, or you may be waiting to wake up one day and just feel like, hey, I'm not hurt anymore. Like it's gone. It disappeared overnight. Not gonna happen. That's just not the way it works, right? And so I'm here to tell you that that day will never come. And you will never wake up and just feel like forgiving the person that betrayed you, that abandoned you, that abused you, or that broke you. And forgiveness is not a feeling. It's a, oh, excuse me, it's not a feeling. It's a decision. And it's the act of obedience to God. So in John 14:15, chapter 14, verse 15, it says, if you love me, you will keep my commands. And one of those commands is obeying God. Obeying him when it hurts, obeying him when it doesn't make sense, obeying him when it's difficult, obeying him when you're mad, obeying him when you're angry, obeying him when you don't want to do it. It's not even about us. God didn't create us for him to obey what it is that we want and don't want to do. That's not how that works, right? I think sometimes we think that God is supposed to just bow down to our comfort, and but it is a command, and it is a decision, and we have to get to a place where we are so anchored in the Lord, and we have such a fear of reference of the Lord, where we're not going to allow anyone to keep us from being obedient to what the Lord is calling us to do, right? And so and the reality is that the person that may have wronged us, they may not deserve it. I know you're probably thinking, well, they don't deserve it. They did this, they did that. And that may be a fact. But the truth is, what set me free is that forgiveness isn't about what they deserve. It's more about what I deserve, what I needed, right? And what I deserve was freedom, and you deserve freedom as well. And I deserve not to carry this weight anymore, and I deserve not to be controlled by what they did to me. And you also should get to that place where you don't want to continue to be controlled by what that person did to you, because we can't change what they did, and we don't want to get to the place where we keep revisiting what they did, because it can also get to the point where it mentally drains us. It can make us physically sick. And I don't think we really understand how much, when we hold that unforgiveness and bitterness, how much it really just emotionally drains us. And so let me tell you what this looked like for me practically, right? There were many days where I would sit down to pray, and I would say, God, I don't want to forgive them. I'm still so angry. I still hate what they did to me, but I'm choosing obedience today. I'm choosing to release my grip on this, even though I don't feel like it, right? And so in some days, that's all I could do. That's all I could do, right? And just say, God, I'm willing to be willing. And you know what? That was enough. That was enough for God. That was enough for me in that moment, because God doesn't need your perfect forgiveness. See, I thought forgiveness had to be perfect. I thought you had to feel like forgiven. And that's what really broke me free. And that's what really set me free, because I'm like, man, when you think about it, it's really not that difficult, that hard to forgive. Like, God doesn't make it difficult for us. He just needs your obedient yes, right? And so key number one is just stop waiting to feel like forgiving. Make the choice to obey God, and let the feelings catch up later, because they will. And I promise you they will. and so that's key number one, And key number two, you cannot do this alone. I believe I kind of touched briefly on that in the series part 1. You cannot do this alone, and you have to invite God into your healing. I'm going to say that again, ladies. You cannot do it alone. I cannot stress that. Like, you have to invite God into your healing. And listen, I know that may sound super spiritual or vague, but I'm about to make this real practical for you, right? So when I first tried to forgive, I tried to do it in my own strength. I tried to just decide to let it go. Okay, I'm over it, moving on. It wasn't that simple at all. And it lasted about 24 hours before I was right back in the anger, the bitterness, replaying what they did over and over in my mind. Because here's what I learned. Forgiveness, real forgiveness, deep, lasting forgiveness is actually supernatural. It's not something you can manufacture in your own strength. You literally need God's strength to do this. The Bible says in Philippians, blah blah blah. In Philippians 4:13, I can do all things through Christ who. All right, sorry about that. My video got cut off. That's just the enemy don't want to see you guys be set free. I know he bit mad because any other time I'm recording on my phone, I get no interruptions. But okay, so Philippines 4:13, it says that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And that includes forgiving the unforgivable, right? And so what does that look like practically? How do you invite God in? For me, it looked like this. I started praying for the person who hurted me. That's right. I started to pray for the person. And let me be real with you. Those prayers were hard at first. I didn't want to pray for their blessing. I didn't want to pray for their blessing. I wanted to pray for justice. Okay. If you know, you know. And so also for the consequences, for them to feel what for them to feel what I felt, basically. It was that evil, that evil for evil, eye for eye. Yeah, it was that. Like, I wanted to do evil for evil. Like, that was my motto, my motto, excuse me. And so, but I started praying anyway, even if it was just God bless them, even if I didn't mean it yet, but I was saying it in obedience. And over time, slowly, my heart started to soften. There was counts where I asked God to show me his perspective on the situation. Because I think sometimes when we don't understand a perspective, when we don't have any knowledge or understanding, we tend to just go off what we know. And so it was not to excuse what they did, but to help me see them as a broken being who hurt me out of their own pain. That was what God was showing me. That's how God wanted me to look at this perspective. Like, although these people hurt me, it was God saying, okay, well, look at it from this perspective, from this view. Like, what they did to you was an act out of them being hurt, them being broken. And when I thought about it, I'm like, man, that does make sense, because I know I've hurt people because I've been broken. So I've done a lot of things to people that have wronged me and hurt me. I've done a lot of things to other people because of my brokenness, because of my trauma, because of my past. And it's not to excuse what these people have done to me or have done to you, but it does make you look at it, it makes you look at it from a different lens and a different perspective, for sure. And so, like I mentioned, it doesn't make it okay, but it helped me to have compassion, right? And that's where God has to continue to work on your heart and just continue to make you more and more and more like him, because that's the only way you can have that type of compassion. That's the only way you can have that type of grace and that type of forgiveness, is in the likeness of God, right? And so I also just brought my honest emotions to God, and where we're going to talk about more in key number 4 is that I stopped also trying to pretty up my prayers. I think sometimes we like to come to God and we like to pretty up our prayers and come to him with, religion and all of these rituals. And I don't know, but that's God. He wasn't looking for that. And so I stopped trying to sound so super spiritual, and I just got real and honest and raw with God. Like, my anger, my frustration, it was real. And God can handle that. God can handle our emotions, and he wants you to be real with him, because he knows anyway. We can't hide our emotions, our feelings, our thoughts from God anyway. So why not just bring it to him, right? And so key number 3, forgiveness takes time. It's a process, not a one-time event. And this is key that I wish someone had told me from the very beginning, because I thought forgiveness was like flipping a light switch on and off. Like, you decide, you pray one prayer, and boom, you're done and you're healed. I didn't know it was a process. I didn't know it took time. And I also learned in that process that you forgive and you forget and skip off into the sunset. Well, I'm sorry, I thought that's what that meant. You forgive, forget, and you skip off into the sunset. Like, and that's just the end of that. And it just goes away. But that's not how it works. Forgiveness is not a one-time decision. It is a daily, sometimes hourly choice that you have to keep making over and over again, until one day you realize, wait, I'm actually free. There was times like, well, I would be in my prayer closet and I would be just, Lord, I forgive him. 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 I will probably repeat that probably 300-400 times. Like, I forgive him. 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 Maybe that's what some of you may have to do. I don't know. Only God knows what you need and how to, actually get you fully over into your freedom. But I know it worked for me at times. Over time, it started to work. It didn't happen right away. And so, let me also, I kind of also just want to speak briefly, just like a real example of like my own life. I thought I had forgiven a person and I prayed about it. I released it to God. And then I felt peace. And then 3 months later, something triggered me, right? Maybe it could be a song, it could have been a smell, it could have been just a memory that popped up in my head, and boom, just like that, all the anger just came back flooding, like it never left. And that's why I say, like, forgiveness is just not a one-time event, because the triggers are still there. The triggers are real, and it's okay to feel those emotions. It's okay to feel what you feel, but don't ignore it. Don't dismiss it. Just allow God to help you walk through it, right? And so I remember thinking, wait, like, I thought I forgave him. Like, why are these feelings still coming up? Why am I still feeling like this? And then God just gently reminded me, like, healing is a linear. Like, forgiveness isn't a straight line from pain to peace. It's more like a spiral, right? You keep circling back to the same wound, but each time you're at a higher level. Each time you're a little more healed than you were before. And once I realized that, like, man, okay, it's not a one-time event. There are going to be moments where you are sad, you are crying, you are angry, you are mad, but God is slowly healing you. And sometimes God will allow those events and those moments to come up, because it's him highlighting and showing you, like, hey, daughter, I still need you to heal in this area. So I'm going to bring it up. I'm going to bring these events up. I'm going to bring this pain up, not to shame you, not to punish you, but I'm just showing you this is where you're still stuck. This is where you're still bound. This is where you're still slave to. And so just don't resist it. Don't resist what God is showing you, and just embrace it. And when I say embrace it in a sense to where just accept what you're feeling and not disregard it. And so, so here's what forgiveness as a process looks like. You might forgive them today, and then tomorrow you may wake up angry again, and you have to choose forgiveness again, right? And you might forgive, you may have a good week where you're totally free, and then something reminds you of what they did, and then you have to forgive them again, right? So for me, what I used to do, like, if I would have that trigger, I would just instantly be like, I forgive them, or like, I forgive them, I forgive them. Like, you don't have to go in your prayer closet and you just saying, I forgive them, I forgive them, I forgive them. Like, if a thought comes up, something like if anger or frustration, whatever that emotion may be at that moment, be like, Lord, I forgive him. Lord, I forgive him. God sees that, and he will meet you in that. And it doesn't mean that you failed. It doesn't mean that you really didn't forgive them. It just means that you're human. It means you're healing a deep wound, because some wounds are deeper than others. And that's why some people heal faster than others, because some people wounds and trauma isn't like everyone. Everyone's trauma, everyone's wound is deeper and different than others. And so the deeper the wound, the deeper it's going to take for the healing. But you have to do the work. And I think too, it's not even just so much about how deep the wound is. I think it's also about how much are you willing to put in the work as well. And that makes a difference. And in the womb, and like I said, it takes time, so don't rush it. Be patient with yourself. Give yourself grace. This is not a race. There's no timeline for your healing. So some wounds I forgave in months, some took years, right? And you know what? That's okay. They both are okay, and they both are valid. And so here's what helped me. I stopped putting pressure on myself to be done forgiving. Instead, I just simply committed to choosing forgiveness. Each day, each time the memory came up, each time I felt triggered, I'm like, okay, God, I'm choosing to release this again. I'm choosing freedom again. And over time, slowly, gradually, the weight got lighter. The triggers got less intense. And one day I realized I can think about what happened without my whole body reacting. I can remember without reliving. And that's how you know you're making progress. When you know that the trigger is no longer there, you're no longer anxious about the thought of that person or what they've done, and not that you not and it's not that you won't ever think about it, but it doesn't control you anymore. And that's key, because there's sometimes I may think about something, but it doesn't trigger me anymore. Like, I don't go to the bottle. I don't go to the blunt. I don't do those worldly things anymore when I have those triggers. I don't allow it to control me anymore. And so just overall, just to summarize, key number 3, give yourself time. Give yourself grace, and keep choosing forgiveness, and one day at a time. Don't rush it. And so key number 4, I know this is a lot, y'all, but the Holy Spirit was really moving in this. And I want to make sure I give you all the keys. And so key number 4, do not disregard your emotions. Bring it all to God. I think, like I just mentioned, like if you're frustrated, if you're angry, if you're mad, bring it to God. He can deal with it. He can handle it. Okay, and this is key. And so this is the one that actually unlocked my healing, because for years I was trying to forgive while stuffing down all my emotions. I thought being a good Christian meant I wasn't allowed to be angry. I thought forgiveness meant I had to skip straight to I'm fine, everything's fine, because by default I would just say I'm fine, I'm good, and I would just brush it off as if like everything was okay, when in reality it wasn't. And I'm here to tell you, sis, like, that's a lie. That is a toxic positivity disguised as spirituality. I can't say that word for some reason, y'all. And it will keep you stuck, right? It's a mask. It's masked up, and just a fake disguise of positivity, right? And so we don't want that. We want to come to God real, and we want to be real with ourselves. And you cannot heal what you will not feel. I think that's important. You cannot heal what you would not feel. So if you keep saying, oh, okay, I'm fine, how can you heal from it? Because now psychologically your mind is saying, well, okay, she's fine, I'm fine, so I don't need to heal from something that really destroyed me. So just feel. And if you're trying to forgive without actually processing your anger, your hurt, your betrayal, or your grief, you're not really forgiven, right? You're just burying the pain, and you buried the pain, and burying the pain doesn't die, right? It just goes underground, and it controls you from there. So we can look at Psalms, David, right? David was brutally honest with God. I mean, if you read through Psalms, David didn't hold back no emotions. He was raw. And so David cried out, how long, O Lord, will you forget me? Forever, my God? My God, why have you forsaken me? Jesus himself even cried out on the cross, why have you forsaken me? So we can cry out to God in our emotions and our feelings. And if Jesus expressed raw, honest emotions to God, then we can too. So here's what this looked like for me. I stopped praying pretty prayers. I stopped trying to sound so spiritual, and I started getting real with God. And so, like, for example, I would say, God, I'm so angry right now. I hate what they did to me. I don't understand why you let this happen. I feel betrayed by them and by you. I would tell God, like, listen, I feel betrayed by you, and I need you to reveal yourself to me because I need help. And so, it's just in those moments, I will say to God, like, I would be honest with God, brutally honest, like, God, I don't want to forgive them. I want them to hurt like they hurt me. I want justice. I want revenge. And we know that God tells us that vengeance is the Lord, it's not ours. And so he will fight our battles. He will fight on our behalf. But it's not our job to figure out how. It's not our job to figure out the outcome. Our job is only just to be obedient and to forgive. And so, but here's the truth. God already knows what you're feeling. You're not hiding it from him. And by pretending you're fine, you're only hiding it from yourself. So here's what I will recommend and encourage you to do. Journal was something that helped me. Journal your honest emotions. Write it all out. The anger, the hurt, the betrayal, the grief. Don't edit yourself. Don't filter yourself. Just make it, don't make it pretty. Just be real, right? And so bring these emotions to God in prayer. Say it out loud if you need to. Cry. Crying is good for the soul. It's actually a good form of healing as well. I remember last year, I cried so much last year, but it was so good. I got to the point where I got tired of crying. I'm like, Lord, I don't think I have any more tears in me. But I didn't realize what God was doing then. Like he was healing me through my tears, through my crying. And it's like every time I would get done crying, I would just feel like this sense of peace. I would feel released. So I'm here to tell you, ladies, now, if you have your moments where you're just crying or you're crying all day, just cry, let it, just release it, because that's God healing you in a supernatural way as well. And so also, another point I just want to make is encourage you, just ask God to help you process the emotions in a healthy way. God, I'm so angry. Help me to release this anger without letting it destroy me. Help me to grieve without getting stuck in grief. Like, just be honest about God in that area as well. And because you are allowed to feel all of it, the anger, the hurt, the emotions, the sadness, all of it. So when you bring all of these emotions to God, it isn't weakness. It's actually the bravest, most honest thing you can do when it comes to healing. And that's something I had to learn. And so just to wrap up, key number 4, don't bypass your emotions on the way to forgiveness. Bring them all to God and he can handle it. I promise you, he can handle it. It's nothing that is too hard for God. And so that wraps it up with the 4 keys. But drum roll, I have a bonus one for you ladies. I have a bonus one, and the bonus one is, which is so important, what I've learned is that forgiveness is for you, not for them. I'm going to say that again. Forgiveness is for you. It is not for them. See, I need you to understand this. Forgiveness doesn't mean that what they did was okay. It doesn't mean you're excusing their behavior, right? It doesn't mean you're letting them off the hook. Forgiveness means you are releasing your grip on the poison so it stops destroying you. Unforgiveness is like carrying around a backpack full of rocks, right? And every day you're carrying the weight of what they did to you, and they're out there living their life while you're the one suffering under the weight. Like, no, don't do that to yourself. Like, you deserve so much. Don't do that to yourself. So forgiveness is setting down that heavy book bag, right? That heavy backpack with all those rocks. And it doesn't change what they did, but it doesn't make them less guilty, but it frees you. remember, it's about you. It's not even about them. It's about you. If you keep that in mind, in the back of your mind, it's about me. It's about me. It's about me. It's about my freedom. It's about my peace. It's about my joy. It's about my healing. It's about me. Then it will make a difference in your walk, in your journey when it comes to healing. And so also, I just want you to just know that you can forgive someone and still have boundaries, right? You can forgive and choose not to also let them back in your life. I think sometimes we feel like when we forgive someone, we're supposed to let them back in our life. But no, God also wants us to protect our hearts and guard our hearts as well, from the people that have hurt us. And so you can forgive and still seek justice or accountability as well. And forgive is not reconciliation. It's not automatically trusting them again. It's not putting yourself back in harm's way, as I just mentioned. And forgiveness, again, is about your freedom, your healing, and your peace. I don't know how many times I mentioned that, but it's important. Your freedom, your healing, and your peace. So don't let anyone guilt you into thinking forgiveness means you have to let toxic people back into your life, because that's a lie from the enemy, the pit of hell. And you can forgive them from a distance, and you can forgive them and still protect yourself. And this is what it's about, just getting free, okay? And so I just pray, ladies, that, this series, blessed you. These are just some of the practical key points, plus the bonus, that helped me through my journey of healing and forgiving, and the work that it actually took to forgive. But here's what I'm going to cover in part 3 of this series, which is the biggest mistake people make after they started forgiving, right? Because starting the forgiving process is one thing, but maintaining your freedom, that's where most people get derailed. And so in part 3, I'm going to share the number one mistake that we make when we, let me see how, so part 3, I'm going to share the number one mistake that will pull you right back into unforgiveness, how to handle it when the person who hurt you shows up in your life again, or what to do when other people pressure you to reconcile before you're ready, because people will do it. They will do it, and you don't have to. You can gracefully tell them no. And then also in part 3, just going to also just share and how to know when you've actually truly forgiven. So make sure you subscribe, and I pray that everyone stayed to the end of this of series 2. I know it was a lot of information, but subscribe and just make sure you have your notification bell turned on so you don't miss part 3, because we're going to bring this whole series home with some powerful truth. And I'll link part 1 in I link part 1 in the description, and then in part 2, and then in part 3 I'll link next week, okay? And so I just pray that the Lord just continues to just carry you all, and just continue to just be with you during your healing journey. Remember to give yourself grace. Remember to forgive yourself. Remember to love yourself. And I just pray that God just continue to heal you, and continue to heal those broken wounds, continue to carry you, continue to just love on you. And I'm just so excited for what God is doing in this series. And I'm so excited to be able to hear your testimony soon, because I know that God placed this on my spirit to do this series for a reason. And I know it's because he have heard the cries of his daughters, and this is him answering those prayers. And so I just pray that each and one of you take these series seriously, and you do the work so you can walk into the freedom that God desires for you. So I love you all. Thank you so much again for tuning in. Until next time, I'll see you later. Bye.